Are any of the X-ray attacks in Mortal Kombat X actually survivable, or will all of them send you straight to the morgue?
Watching from the sky, a beam of light. I am electric eye.
Just flown out of like right into the hand and onto the paper. I think this is also why so many people can instantly connect.
Oh, this is still going on.
It's not
Really? How's it going, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Chamber of the Wraith. My name is Brian, and we are on day 4 of E3 coverage. And it was EA's turn to be in the spotlight today. And wow. I mean, you're always taught to go in with low expectations, but I went in with low expectations, and I still was like, okay. There were 2, maybe 3 things that were actually somewhat interesting, but other than that, I could literally make 3 announcements in this first clip. Battlefield 5 gameplay, with, I believe they announced a Battle Royale mode. Of course they did. FIFA gameplay and an official reveal. And really, I don't care about sports games. There is quite a large market for FIFA games though, so I felt it prudent to at least mention that. And, well, they also announced this weird game called After Party. I don't know, it just doesn't seem quite like my thing, but I totally understand if it looks interesting to you. That's fantastic, but given that GameSpot's full broadcast of the EA coverage has 860 likes and over 1,000 dislikes, yeah, this was not a good conference, to say the least. But I did manage to pick up at least a couple of things that were at least a little bit interesting, so why don't we at least talk about the positives, right? Let's start with a free-to-play game that actually kind of has my attention. So this game is called Dauntless, and if you're looking at this thinking, this kind of looks like a blend between Fortnite and Monster Hunter, you're kind of right. It's a free-to-play, soft-launch beta type situation where you hunt monsters and get materials in order to get the monsters and all of this grand stuff. Now, despite it being an open beta, there doesn't seem to be any indication of anything resulting like a server wipe. So if you were to start this game, you would keep your character from today all the way to launch and beyond. Now, another thing that I really kind of caught my attention on this is that it's free to play, but you don't buy resources. You can buy skins and stuff, but it doesn't. But according to this Game Informer clip, it doesn't sound like you'll be actually buying materials, which is nice because you don't want this thing to be pay to win. You want this to be free to play and pay in order to help support the game and get skins and stuff. Kind of like Smite in a sense, but because this game is free to play, do keep in mind that these things could change. I don't exactly recall what it's coming out for. I'll probably put it here because for some reason I totally forgot. But Dauntless is definitely something worth looking into. Now, next up, we've got a game that's being developed from my hometown in Edmonton. Yes, you finally know where I'm from. Now I'm gonna get stalked. Joy. I'm too small for that, at least I hope. But this game is being developed by BioWare from EA, and you guys already know what it is. It's Anthem. Let's take a look. Anthem has been a pretty interesting game. I mean, it had that little controversy from a while ago where the PlayStation trailer literally kind of just photoshopped the PlayStation buttons over top of the Xbox buttons for some reason. But it's looking like this game is actually looking quite fun. In it, it looks like you're going to be piloting 4 main kinds of these armor suit things. They're called Ranger, Colossus, Storm, and Interceptor. And these suits will obviously have their strengths and their weaknesses, and you'll be able to go in and go on sort of quest-type things, hunting monsters, and just having a jolly old time with your friends in flying suits and all of this fantastic stuff. Now, as always, I will be linking this and all of the other videos that I mention in the description down below. And you can always try and search for more information on your own if you can for certain things like what is the website for Anthem, although I'm pretty sure I'll probably just throw that in the description too. But here's something that is kind of refreshing, but at the same time is making me go, that's interesting. There's no loot boxes in Anthem. And you will not be able to buy enhancing things, you know what I mean? You won't be able to buy any upgrades to your Ranger armor to make it better than your buddy's Ranger armor. But you will be able to buy customizable pieces so that my Ranger armor would look different from my buddy's Ranger armor. Which kind of reminds me of Injustice 2's gear system, at least a little bit, in that they were also toting around this idea of, hey, your Batman's going to look different from my Batman and every other Batman. You know what I mean? But other than that, it just kind of reminded me a little bit of Injustice 2, but not really. Anthem also has a release date of February 22nd, 2019. So look forward to that. Now we're going to quickly dive into the PlayStation VR reveal that took place today. And it's kind of adorable, but it's also a little bit weird. It'll be a game of gigantic proportions. Maybe not literally, but you'll see what I mean. This cutesy little game that you're looking at right now is called Ghost Giant. It was announced via the PSVR thing, although as a result it is exclusive to PlayStation VR, at least for now. The premise seems to be that you play as the titular Ghost Giant, helping this little creature and his little town out in certain situations and just generally having a good time. It's something you would throw your PSVR on, turn on, and be in it just for the cute and the adorable and all of that good stuff. You wouldn't be in this thing to smash the town or anything like that. It's generally cutesy and is generally quite adorable. There was no release date announced thus far, but I wouldn't be surprised if this game came out sometime in 2019. Or at the very earliest, sometime in late 2018, November, December, in that range. Now we do actually have one more game that I want to talk about, and that'll basically be it for the stuff that I found interesting at E3. I know I didn't make mention of a lot of FIFA or Star Wars Battlefront or anything like that, but really, E3's conference had a lot of stuff, and a lot of it seemed to be filler. Like, I don't think I actually remembered the entirety of the conference. So, say, Libby, if this wasn't the big mega E3 coverage thing that you wanted, I apologize. But for timing reasons and everything, I just wanted to talk about the stuff that seemed to be actually at least a little bit interesting. So, I hope you guys understand. In a surprising announcement that really I was caught off guard by, Unravel is getting a sequel. Now, Unravel was this passion project by an indie developer. If you saw the conference, the dude was like nerve-wracked because this was his first E3 and he was terrified. And I couldn't blame him. Imagine going to E3 on behalf of EA to present this indie title that nobody's ever heard of before, because it's an indie title, in front of thousands of people. That kind of shell shock is not surprising. But then Unravel was released and everybody loved it. It may not have sold as well as a lot of EA's big titles, but the fact that it is warranting a sequel is actually quite fantastic. This sequel is going to feature a lot of co-op play, where you'll be able to play with your friend in order to solve the puzzles in Unravel 2, which is fantastic. I haven't yet to play Unravel. I'm looking for an opportunity to do so, but from what I saw way back at E3, co-op would have been a fantastic thing in the first game. And now that there's co-op in Unravel 2, it's just going to be even more fun. And I'm glad that this game is getting a sequel. And that's basically it for the E3 conference and stuff that I found interesting. Now, what... excuse me. Sorry. A little choky today. Now, alongside all of the other links that I talked about, like Anthem, Unravel 2, Ghost Giant, and any of the other clips that I mentioned, I am actually going to be linking the full EA conference so that you can watch it yourself hopefully not fall asleep during it like some people presumably did, and watch for anything that might interest you. You might be interested in FIFA 19, or Battlefield 5, or the 2 new Star Wars games that are coming out. The 2 new Star Wars related things, because Battlefront 2 is getting like a Han Solo based thing, and there's this new Star Wars Jedi Forces thing that seems at least a little bit interesting, but I don't know. All said and done, it is really hot, and so I should probably get this thing off of me. As always, DFTBA, and stay tuned tomorrow because we're supposed to be getting another conference, and that's got me excited. Because, it can't be a snooze fest like EA. Could it? That's the wrong controller.